Aujourd'hui, maman est morte. Ou peut-être hier. Je ne sais pas. J'ai reçu un télégramme de l'asile. Mère décédée. Enterrement demain. Sentiment distingué. Ça veut rien dire. C'était peut-être hier. Or in English, today mom died. Or maybe yesterday, I don't know. I got a telegram from the asylum. Mom dead. Burial tomorrow. Distinguished sentiments. It doesn't mean anything. It might have been yesterday. Chat, I finally understand the purpose of Paimon. Because here's the thing, right? AD is so annoying that it makes Paimon feel bearable in comparison. The purpose of Paimon is to trick players into thinking that the other characters around Paimon aren't that bad. Instead of actually writing competent characters, they just annoy you so much more in comparison. With one character, that you feel like the other ones are likable. They're not. That's why Paimon's in the game. I get it. No, me with a Paimon tattoo? You're a loser. I'm sorry. Listen. Okay? I'm not gonna be out here judging anyone for getting a tattoo of an anime game. Like, at the end of the day, if you want to get a tattoo, it should be of something that's important to you, and if the anime game is an important part of your life because you play it a lot, it's your main form of entertainment, you use it to be a part of a community, whatever. Any reason why it would be important to you. If it's important to you, then good for you. But holy fuck, literally anyone but Paimon. Like, really? Like, really? Paimon? Really? I'm not gonna judge you for getting a Genshin tattoo, but I will judge you for getting a Paimon tattoo. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? Come on. Come on, what the frick? On Childe, is it worth to farm Nymph or Hod from scratch, or 2 are good enough? I'd be using Harp. I'm gonna show you what I do when I'm playing Childe. Alright? And that should answer your question. Which one is it? Is it this one? It might be, I don't know. No, it's not. This one. This is what I do with Childe. The thing about Childe is he doesn't have a good set. Right? Hod and Nymph are good, but they're not that far ahead of the other options. And the thing about that is, if you're not going for Blizzard Sprayer or, like, I don't know the name of the other one, the HP set, it's not gonna feel good to just stay in the domain forever. But more importantly, if you're playing Childe, you're pretty likely gonna be playing Channeling as well. And so going for Emblem is resin efficient, which means that your Emblem pieces are likely to be higher quality than your Hod or Nymph pieces. And Emblem is, unironically, a fairly good option on Childe. Alright, if we... Do I have my Childe sheet on this computer? I don't know. I already have 6 units who want Emblem. That's good. Like, okay. Here's the thing, alright? People see, oh, I have 6 units who want Emblem as, oh, it's gonna be harder for me to get enough Emblem sets. But it's not. Because the reality is, if you do 20 runs of Emblem and 20 runs of Heart of Death, it's not like you're more likely to get better Heart of Death pieces. Like, your pieces are good, you're still going to have the same amount of good pieces. But if more characters share a set that they want to be using, it makes it so that when you get redundant pieces, because you're not always going to get one good flower, one good feather, one good sands, one good goblet, and one good circlet, with one of them being off piece, and then start over and the same thing again, right? most likely what's going to happen is you're going to get a good flower and feather pretty early, and then maybe another thing that's lucky. But then you're going to start getting more flowers and feathers that are good. And by the time you have a good full set for one character, you have a pretty decent 3 pieces ready for another character. So all of that means is that you need to farm less to build all of your characters. You needing to have emblem on 6 characters just means that it'll be faster for you to build all 6 of those characters than if they all needed different sets. I've heard that say Candace is quite underrated and people often think she's really bad. She actually is. In what terms and how should I build and use her? It's not that she's great or even good at a baseline. It's that what it boils down to is what is she good at, right? She's good at increasing the total amount of hydro applications that your team has. However, her damage is a joke. Which means that in teams where your hydro characters are there for hydro application, but that also want the hydro characters to do damage, she's not going to be very good. So in Hyper Bloom teams, your hydro character is not triggering any reactions, you're not building them EM. Like they are gonna trigger Bloom, but the Bloom isn't gonna deal damage, the Hyper Bloom will. And so Candace is not that good there because her damage is kind of shit. In Nilo Bloom teams, you don't have a different character proccing the reaction, right? It's her that is proccing the reactions. And so her low damage doesn't matter because you're building her full EM anyways. Basically, her strengths and weaknesses synergize very well with the Bloom archetype. And so she is actually fairly good in Bloom teams with Nilo. But she's pretty shit everywhere else. In Nilo Bloom with Yaya Kanaka, do you build Yaya and Kanaka full EM? Yeah, you do. Obviously, you can try to like balance out your Yaya build if you feel like you're dying. You can try to build a little bit more HP, but Yaya's healing is so high that like you won't need to. Like level up her talents and you probably won't need to. Oh, by the way, Chad, I saw some of the Hydro MC leaks that we've had since yesterday. And we actually got footage of Hydro MC's ult being used against enemies, and it seems to hit more than once per second. But it seems to move more than I expected it to. So I think it's going to be really hard to get the enemies to actually take all of the damage. That might have been C0, I don't know. Maybe. It might have been, I don't know. But if you can manage to get the enemies to take all of it, it's almost as much damage as an Ayaka ult. Like, that's pretty good. But it's Hydro, so you don't have to play it in Freeze. You can play it in Hyper Bloom, you can play it in Vape, you can play it in whatever. It's 2 times per second, but the maximum contact size at C2 is 3 seconds on a normal sized enemy that doesn't move. Oh, I see. Oh, that's cringe then. Yeah, maybe Hydro MC is the free Ayaka at AR42 that we wanted, that we had all along.
I'm so talented. You guys see that? Wow, that was so good.
Why is he like
honestly,
this?
If I was watching,
so let me tell you a story, okay? One day, all right, one day when he was very, very young, his dad was going to New York, and he was visiting the Empire State Building. And that's a pretty tall building, you know? Well, he was sightseeing and exploring on the top floor, and he accidentally dropped Nick all the way to the bottom. Now, Nick, being the amazing, insane, freak of nature Giga Chad that he is, obviously didn't die. But he did fall head first, and he may have suffered a tiny little bit of brain damage. The reason why he loves Xiao so much is because when Xiao falls head first, he's immune to fall damage, right? So for those of you who didn't know, Right, Xiao doesn't take damage from very high up plunge attacks, whereas other characters do. Right? And then on top of that, polearm users jump head first. Well, the main reason why he loves Xiao so much is because he is jealous of Xiao's ability to not suffer long-term injuries from such an endeavor.
I'm auto-battling on Star Rail.
I don't care.
I care. I asked. Me. Wait, I still only have 20 diamond bolts. Are they in? Is it in? No, it's not. Waiting.
Should I bring runes for blood spells?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Bring
you
your
can.
Guthun set.
Bring your what?
Guthun set.
Nick?
Sorry.
Why did this guy log on just to be annoying?
I'm sorry. But yeah, you can.
Just kidding.